Welcome to PrepsNet Coach Speak with Tabernacle Christian head basketball coach Matt Grimes. Here's your host, Aubrey Johnson.
Welcome back, Coach.
Thanks. It's good to be back.
Well, good deal. So last Tuesday, you played Tuscaloosa. You lost by a score of 41-31. Tell us a little bit about the night.
Well, that one we started off slow. We got down 15-2 to end the first quarter, so that's obviously not the way you want to start a basketball game. But we were able to stay with them for the rest of it, closing it in the fourth quarter, I want to say to 6, maybe even 4 points, before they scored a few more and pulled it back out to 10. But it was, take away the first quarter, it was a pretty good game. That was Jeremy's first game back, and he didn't start, so really he didn't play the first half of that first quarter.
Gotcha.
And so, I'd like to think maybe that'd make a little bit of difference. But either way, that'd be our first game this season with everybody actually on the court. So at least we put in 3 good, solid quarters there.
Right.
So, and Tucker was, again, our leading scorer. He did finish with 12. Aaron had 8. Eric had 7. So kind of even scoring there with you guys mixing in there. So
yeah. Okay, and then last Friday you played Providence. At Providence, and you came away with a loss, 80-37. That was a tough one. Tell us about that one.
That one again started out. It started out okay. I think they got a little bit of a lead there towards the beginning, and then we were able to stay with them. Pretty good amount. It was 20-27 at halftime. And they had a layup right there to end the half. So it was a pretty close first half. Okay. Started off in the third quarter. First half of the third quarter stayed right with them. We actually, about halfway through, closed the gap back down to 4. Right. And then we had some things happen to where I ended up taking out a few of the guys, and they pulled away from us at that point.
Right.
But overall, if you look at it for this week, this is really our first week with our full roster, and Eric actually didn't start the Providence game. So we're yet to have what I would consider probably at least our main 4 starters. And I think my 5th starter is probably going to kind of rotate throughout the season based on who we're playing and what we need at the time. But as far as Tucker, Aaron, Jeremy, and Eric, they're actually yet to start and play together at the beginning of a game, which hopefully that'll help us with some of our first quarter problems. So hopefully we'll get into that this week and get them going. But really, between the 2 games, I know for the week, obviously, we lost both games, but we had a solid 5-6 quarters against really competitive teams, considering the fact that, for us, it's first time with all of them really playing together. So disappointing week in the losses, but overall it's actually a pretty encouraging week, knowing where we're at and that we was 2 competitive teams. We should be, give us some confidence for the rest of the season. Okay.
All right. Very good. Well, you mentioned this week you've got a couple of games. The first one is Thursday against Valley Fellowship. What do you expect to see from the Fire?
They've had some good younger teams here in the last couple of years, so I'm not sure exactly what their varsity is going to look like this year. It could be pretty competitive, and so we're going to go there. Traditionally, I believe, run a zone, so we'll get some more work on a zone offense. And, just go back to playing our defense, see what happens there. Now that we do have everybody back, we're installing a few more things that we can work with a little bit better with everybody. And then we'll just go from there. But hopefully, if we can, that is a counter game for us. Right. And it's a home game, so we'd love to get a win there.
Yeah, for sure. So then on Friday, you have the Trinity Eagles, and that's coming up. What do you expect to see from them?
Well, it's actually been a few years since we played them. Okay. I'm thinking maybe back to the 2019-2020 season, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that, but I think it's been about that long.
Right.
And so, it'd be kind of fresh for both of us. Don't really know exactly what the other one has. But again, it's a non-conference game, so it's just going to be another opportunity for us to go get some experience and getting these guys playing together and hopefully finish before our Christmas break, finish on a high note, maybe with a couple wins here and just build some confidence going into the second half of the season.
Okay, good deal. Well, as you mentioned, Christmas break is basically here. After this week, you have the Christmas break. We won't be back for a show until Tuesday, January 7th. That feels like a mile away, but it'll be here before you know it.
Yeah.
Won't it, Coach?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, appreciate your time. That's our show.
Thanks for having me.
Certainly appreciate you. Watch us again on the 7th Look for us again for another Tabernacle version of Coach Speak.